Riffs are too repetitive, the lyrics make no sense. All the songs are B-sides and the cover art's a mess. There's so much here to tear apart. Listen to it for a week, now that week has passed. It's Why I Hate This Album podcast with Tim and Garrett.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Why I Hate This Album. I am one of your hosts, Garrett Harvey. With me as always, well, at least most of the time, co-host extraordinaire, Millhouse to my Bart, Timothy Richardson. Tim, how you doing, buddy?
I'm cold, Garrett. I'm very cold.
We're all very cold, Tim.
Yes. It was 7 degrees here overnight. There's a giant hole in the wall. I don't know how you set up the weatherproof plastic divider between our couch beds or why I ended up on the wall hole side, but you seem quite comfortable. And Garrett, I'm in danger of losing the tip of my nose and part of my right ear.
Yeah, absolutely. That does not look good. I am downright steamy on my side of the house. It's almost as though you did not prepare at all.
Well, I think that your solution to fill the hole with the intern pile was as monstrous as it was elegant, but it stopped working after a while.
Hard for me to tell. Again, hermetically sealed side of the house, completely heated by several small candles. It's actually quite lovely in here. Anyway, so I wouldn't know. So you say, I mean, it looks chilly, and judging by the purplish black hue of the tip of your nose and left ear, I think hypothermia and frostbite is just around the corner.
Yes.
And I would let you in, Tim. I would love to let you in. You, of course, are 100% welcome in here. Had you gotten in at the start, didn't realize you weren't setting something up on your own, figured you were going to be all set, can't open the door, not till it gets warmer. You understand.
Yes.
Tim, what album have you been frigidly listening to for an entire week?
Well, I have been listening to Matchbox 20's Yourself or Someone Like You, released October 1st, 1996. I hope you have as well. This was suggested by Bernard Gross, Melanie from Minnesota, Aaron, and probably some other people who hate awesome things from the mid-90s.
Yeah, well, look at me agreeing with you far too readily. Before we get into the nitty-gritty, I guess we got to ask it right up top, Tim. Do you hate this album?
No, I can't say I hate it. I don't like it, and I'm embarrassed, Garrett. I am ashamed of 1996 to 1997 Tim for liking it as much as I did, or I think I did.
I say why stop there, Tim? Let's broaden that range.
Well, I mean, that's rude, but at the time I was an alternative boy, Garrett. I was an unusual boy who liked alternative music.
I think we finally found the appropriate label for you. You are an alternative boy. An alternative to a boy, not a girl. That's not what you are. You're not a lady. Wouldn't say you're a lady, but I certainly wouldn't say you're a boy. You're an alternative boy.
I'm a man, Garrett. I'm an adult male. That's a man.
I know.
Well, let me rephrase. A man, theoretically does what's right and whatnot. And I'm not doing that. I'm not standing up for the little guy because they're the interns. But technically, I'm a man.
You're technically an adult-aged man.
Yes. Well, adult-aged male.
I appreciate you not giving yourself too much credit.
Do you hate this album, Garrett?
Ooh, what a good question. Yeah, I think I might. I really think I might. This sucks dicks, and not in a good way.
This album does suck dicks, and you are right to hate it. I hope that I can get there with you.
I fail to see how you're going to avoid getting there, Tim. I might get you there before song 1. This album blows dicks. God damn it. I was, getting ahead of myself. Before we can get into the song itself, Tim, I'm a little curious. Prior to this week, before we did the deep dive, had you ever heard Matchbox 20 and his Lonesome Self or Someone Like Him?
Yeah, I own this album, Garrett. I owned it.
You suck.
Here's the thing. I'm sure I had to have listened to this whole thing all the way through, right? Because I owned it. Of course I did. But the problem is, I don't know at least half the songs, and of the songs I do know, I might only know the choruses, chori.
I don't know, Tim. You're posing an excellent question. Unfortunately, I think that is the riddle of Matchbox 20. You can hear it a million times, but you're only going to know the choruses.
That's fair.
Chorus?
I think it's chori.
You know what it isn't. Chori. I don't know what it is, but we know what it isn't. It's the thing you said. And hey, that's valuable. We know what it's not.
Did you own this as a boy? Well, no. I guess you'd have been a man when this came out.
I was not a man when this came out. What did this come out in? 96?
Yes.
I was 13.
I don't know about that.
I know all about that because that was a difficult age.
That does sound right.
Yeah,
you were
all
living
those
in
stories.
King of the Hill land, I believe. Essentially.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, essentially. And to be really clear here, folks, all those stories I've told up till now about my awkward high school years, those were the good years of school compared to my mega awkward middle school years.
Oh, yeah, and don't forget adult Gary. That guy is weird looking.
Wait, no, what? No. Great looking.
Oh,
good looking man.
Yeah.
Listeners, write in. How good looking am I?
Yeah, okay. Everyone out there that's listening to this, if you could just write in and write a single compliment, it doesn't have to be about his looks, just a compliment for Garrett. He's feeling a little down because I said some mean things.
I'm not going to say whether or not you need to do that. I certainly am not going to say that if you did do that, definitely make it about my attractive physical appearance specifically. But again, you certainly don't need to do that.
Be about his competence at his job.
No, what? No, don't talk about my work.
Fun side note, last Monday, I took a sick day to find out what you do all day because I know what I do all day and it's not work. I don't really understand what your business job is.
I would absolutely love to know who you registered your sick day with.
There's an intern with a clipboard.
That poor bastard.
As far as I can tell, and please correct me if I have misinterpreted anything, your job appears to be violence?
Wow. Oh, whoa.
You seem to spend your day getting paid for violence.
Tim, if all goes right, I get paid not to be violent.
Okay, so you had a real bad Monday then because nothing was going right. Nothing at all. And I would say indiscriminate violence seemed to be discriminating. Anyway, it was a traumatic day for me hiding in those bushes.
You've forced me into a situation where I cannot move on from this topic without elaborating.
I say we move on.
I feel like I'm going to get arrested if I do that. Let me be really, really clear. I am not paid for violence. I am not discriminatory in any way, including, wait, no, I am discriminatory.
Yeah, it's a conundrum.
We'll circle back to that one. Most importantly, violence, is it a part of what I do in a day? Of course. I couldn't get a full day's work done without some violence. Yes, of course. But what job doesn't have some aspect of violence?
That is true. I have noticed that. Around here, there's a lot of slapping.
All right, Tim. That's our history. Before we can talk about the album itself, we need to understand a little bit about the band who made it. So, take us on a journey. Help us understand who is Rob Thomas and how did Matchbox 20 come to be?
Matchbox 20 was founded in Orlando, Florida in 1995, so they're off to a real good start. Yeah. Lead singer and current 49-year-old man, Robert Kelly Thomas, Rob as he likes to be called, Bobby Tommy as he does not like to be called, was born in Germany to a military family that moved back to the U.S. when he was 6 months old. His parents got divorced, and he moved in with his maternal grandmother in South Carolina with his mom. She sounds like a fascinating person. She was allegedly an alcoholic. She owned a gas station. She sold pot and moonshine out of that gas station. And I guess he listened to a bunch of country music while he was just hanging out at this gas station / drug and moonshine
bodega?
Den. Yeah, and that made him want to be a songwriter. The country music.
Yeah, his mom seemed like a not great mom.
Oh, we haven't gotten to her yet. That's the grandmother.
Oh, that was the grandmother. Well,
Yes.
They do say these things are genetic.
Yes. When he was 10, the family moved to Orlando, and he learned to play a Casio keyboard. His mom beat him a bunch. Then his mom... Those are unrelated. Sorry.
I will say, the way you phrased it, I was picturing a boy being beaten with a Casio keyboard.
Or for playing a Casio keyboard. I think they're unrelated.
Okay.
Yeah, she was then diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma, and he kind of had to take care of her until she was well enough to have just a bunch of gentlemen callers over and parties that just did not seem appropriate for a 12-year-old to deal with, allegedly. He's got all these stories about how he's just like, yeah, I would come down and there'd be like 10 dudes in the living room just sleeping off a horrible hangover, and like, I've got to go to school, I guess.
Yeah, that's not how you make a stable person.
Right. He joined the choir in high school to impress a lady, but then he dropped out of high school. He went to jail for 2 months for stealing a Camaro, not allegedly, and and then was allegedly homeless for a couple of years.
Man, stole a Camaro. Is there a lower low?
That's probably early 90s, maybe even late 80s, Garrett.
Oh, that's not a cool Camaro.
No. So he was in a series of bands, including Fair Warning and Tidal Wave, and then he allegedly did too much lysergic acid diethylamide and burned his hands real bad playing with dry ice to the point that a couple of doctors told him they were going to need to amputate his hands.
Jesus, I did not see this in the dossier.
Right. They didn't amputate his hand. Luckily, I guess they gave it another day for those things to warm up or something. So
we're going to need to take those hands. Could we not? I guess not. Boy, I'm sure glad I asked.
In 1993, he formed Tabitha's Secrets.
Oh, God, this is the worst.
With future Matchbox 20ers Brian Yale on bass and Paul Ducetti on drums. They eventually got Adam Gaynor and Kyle Cook and renamed themselves Matchbox 20 after the drummist saw Matchbox 20 on a softball jersey. They named themselves after a guy whose last name was Matchbox and whose softball number was 20.
Maybe his nickname was Matchbox. Ooh, not a bad nickname.
Yeah.
Especially if you're somebody like Tim who likes to start experimental fires.
Well, in my defense, my experimental fires are experimental and therefore started by mixing weird chemicals together.
Who'd have thought these liquids would equal fire?
Right. You get it. They got signed by Atlantic Records pretty immediately. They made Yourself or Someone Like You the album of the week in 96. They started releasing tons of singles from this album, and all of them did pretty well. Actually, the songs that did the best were actually not the singles. The songs that got the most radio play. But it's hard to get numbers on them because at the time, if it wasn't released specifically as a single, there was no records kept on it.
Gotcha.
According to Rob Thomas, the album's title was originally going to be Woodshed Diaries, but Bobby Tommy and Paul Duchette were at a women's musical performance at Café Largo, and the lead singer said, "This song is for you or someone like you," and they stole it. Now, at the time they stole it, a good 3,500 copies of the album Woodshed Diaries had already been made, so they changed it and re-released it immediately.
I wonder if the Beatles didn't put stickers over those meaty boys.
I don't know. Rob Thomas then wrote for and sang on Smooth by Santana, which won him 3 Grammy Awards.
Stay tuned, folks.
They released a second album in 2000 called Mad Season. That went quadruple platinum. Quadruple. Their third album, More Than You Think You Are, was more kind of almost pop punk. That was in 2002, and it included a song written with Mickey Jagger.
You are dancing on the edge of a slap.
In 2003, they released an EP and then took a 6-ish year hiatus where they mostly didn't do anything in the studio. They sometimes did. They all made solo albums. Notably, Robbins Thomas made Something to Be, which hit number 1 on the Billboard 200. And then in 2005, Frank Torres, the man on the cover of Yourself or Someone Like You, sued the band, claiming that they didn't get his permission to use the image on the album's cover. He said that he had just been walking down the street dressed, I guess, like that. It's unclear why. And a photographer asked him to pose for a picture. He claims the group knowingly, intentionally, and maliciously used his picture on the cover, and that caused him mental anguish. And they claim that it took him a long time to file the lawsuit because he didn't know this album existed until 2003.
I think I side with him.
Yeah, I think that model on the cover of that second Vampire Weekend album got some money.
I wonder if Hurley got money for being on the cover of Weezer.
I think he's a fan of Weezer. I think he wanted to be on that.
Then he deserves it.
Yep, but don't worry, Garrett. This particular story has a happy ending because Mr. Frank Torres died without ever getting his hands on any of that Matchbox money.
What?
Yeah. Anyway, why was he just walking down the street dressed like that?
Yeah, that I don't know. You want to describe it?
No, I mean, he's wearing a leather World War I. He's a baron. He's a... I don't know. I can't explain it. He might be shirtless. He's behind a fence, maybe. I've never seen the cover of the album.
That is clear.
I'm pretty sure he's got a leather like World War I fighter pilot cap on.
Okay. Anyway.
I guess you're not going to help me out. That's cool.
I've never seen it.
The band released Exile on Mainstream in 2007. That was a retrospective album with new material for some reason.
Contractual obligation has to be. We've seen this 100 times.
Right.
Hey, you owe us another album. Technically, another album is 3 new songs and the greatest hits.
In 2012, they released North, their so far final studio album. They spent the past decade touring with the Goo Goo Dolls, Counting Crows, the Wallflowers, etc., which is appropriate, as I'm sure we will get into in general thoughts or the song by song.
I would like to go to that concert and during each band set, sit in the front row and scream that the band that's performing to let them on stage.
Oh, yeah.
Just to make the point that they all sound identical.
The other thing is you could demand the hit single from the wrong band constantly.
I don't know if it's ruder to demand the wrong song or during the entire 40-minute Matchbox 20 set scream, "Bring on Matchbox 20! You suck, Counting Crows!" And then when Garrett comes out with Counting Crows, we just do the exact same thing.
I like it. Yeah, so the band basically hasn't done anything since 2012, in the studio at least. Bobby Tommy has released a couple more solo albums, The Great Unknown in 2015, Chiptooth Smile in 2019. So if you are in the market for some new Matchbox 20 adjacent music, he's still making it.
Ugh, that sounds so bad. I won't even recommend that for this show.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be too boring. Well, because first of all, no one's heard it. Nobody. Nor
should they have.
Right, so we would be making it literally just to make each other miserable, which was the original theme of the show, sure.
Yeah, but then other people started listening.
Yeah.
Whatever.
We didn't have to edit it before people listened. We could just listen to the albums and talk about them. It's much easier.
Yeah, so much easier. Yeah. Oh well. Great history, Tim. That brings us up to general thoughts. Where do you want to start with this pile of shit?
What kind of music is this?
Oh, I knew you were going to ask that. It's not rock and roll.
Nope.
It is not alternative rock.
Nope.
It's not emo.
Some of it's a little emo adjacent. The lyrics
for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, I agree
not
with
going
that
to disagree. It's,
I think it's the alternative rock version of adult contemporary, or like the easy listening version of Nirvana, maybe? Like
alternative contemporary.
Maybe.
It's better than what I was going to say. I was going to say it's the Soylent Green of music.
Just ground up other bands. That's actually pretty accurate. I was thinking, like, if Kurt Cobain had been influenced more by like Chuck Mangione instead of Mudhoney and Black Flag, Daniel Johnston, like this album might be the result.
Maybe. It's so neutered.
Yes. And again, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It just doesn't rock.
Yeah. It's not for you or I or most people.
So I think this sounds like basically every other 90s band from this era. As you mentioned already, this sounds like Third Eye Blind. It sounds like the Wallflowers, Seven Mary 3. I hear some REM, although REM's way better. The Verve Pipe, Marcy Playground, Counting Crows, Collective Soul. That song, This Is the Story of a Girl Who Cried a River and Drowned the Whole World band, whatever that is.
And while she looks so sad in photographs.
Yeah.
I absolutely love her.
It's good advice, though. I think that all women enjoy being told to smile in songs. Anyway.
That's what I've heard.
It sucks. This music sucks. And there's obviously going to be super fans out there who will say, those bands don't sound alike at all. And sure, they're different, but they all sound exactly like 96 to 97.
Yeah.
And
did you mention any Dave Matthews in your list?
I didn't.
Oh, I definitely get some Dave.
Yeah, that's fair. One thing that they should get credit for, part of their legacy, I think they are a major contributor, if only because of how popular this was, to the 90s alternative band guy voice.
I don't know. I feel like around 2001, this voice got shut down. We were done with this.
Oh, absolutely. But I think that they were a part of what crafted it.
I don't know, because maybe you read differently. So let's talk about it. A lot of what I read was that several of the songs on this album were originally composed on a piano or solo acoustic. And then he was like, yeah, now I'm going to make this sound like a 1996 song.
Yeah, and that's fair, but I'm pretty sure that's what Spoon does. Like, I think that's
sure.
Britt Daniels playing around on a a piano and then just being
there's a million examples. Right. Eels does it. Nirvana did it. But I mean, again, million examples. I'm just saying that it seems very manufactured to sound of the time.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Did you notice the occurrence of the vocal coach on all the songs?
I did. Mama Jan Smith.
So I think that this guy, well, here's the weird thing is my initial theory was that, okay, so this guy gets signed by, who was it? Capitol?
Atlantic,
whatever. Gets signed by Atlantic, and I'm thinking, okay, he's got some really good songs. The lyrics are there. Can't sing for shit, but there's a band, so we'll figure it out. Get the vocal coach. But the lyrics, Tim, are mostly really stupid.
Yeah, these songs are about nothing.
Yeah, sometimes they're completely incomprehensible as a cogent thought.
Yeah, I think the Mama Jan Smith thing is super interesting, though, because I think we should hire her and Diane Warren and really push that Texas Toast debut over the top, man. She worked with TLC, Usher, Drake, The Biebs, country music duo Sugarland. That helps at all?
It does not. Oh. Well, maybe. Are they popular?
Probably.
Sugarland. Do you think they're named after the Houston suburb Sugarland?
No.
Probably.
No, I don't, because I'm pretty sure they're not from... I think it's a Florida/Georgia connection. I don't know, though.
Ugh. Anyway, I'm sure we'll find out.
Garrett, speaking of Texas Toast.
Okay.
You're really going to like this.
I doubt it.
I had the interns file all the appropriate paperwork on Monday, March 1st, 2021, which may have already
Texas
happened.
Or toast?
No, Garrett. The first location of our new podcast and rap country rap restaurant, Texas Toast, will open in Austin, Texas.
Okay, that is a bold statement. You have opened a restaurant?
Yes. Well, we will have. The interns have filed all the paperwork and we got everything ready.
Wow. Do we have like a staff or a menu or chefs or this is exciting, but I'm very concerned.
I mean,
you're not a details man.
We will serve toast. It's Texas Toast. To be clear, though, no Texas Toast. That bread is expensive.
That's going to be an immediate problem.
Yes. No, regular toast. You'll eat it and you'll fucking like it. Also, no beverage, just toast.
Okay, hold on. Are we buttering this bread?
Yeah, of course. Garrett, I'm not a monster.
Okay, that's something. So we only sell buttered toast.
Yes, and they can toast it themselves. I'll just leave some toasters and some sacks of bread. Maybe we could just, you know what? We might not even need any employees. We'll just have somebody drop off the bread in the morning, open the doors, and like leave a jar, and it could be on the honor system.
Honestly, I think that might work great.
In Austin?
So you've rented a space where we're going to put some toasters and bread.
Yes.
BYOB, bring your own butter.
Yes. I assume the toasters will be stolen at some point. So bring your own toaster if you want to be sure.
I mean, I suppose we could like chain them to the tables.
Oh, I like that. Like the pens at the bank.
And we could also do what Florida Georgia Line does. Come for the toast. Stay for the mandatory performance of Texas Toast. That's the Texas Toast. So everyone's going to come in and go, yeah, I like the Texas Toast. I love a good thick sliced toast. And we'll be like, no, you stupid fucking idiot. You get regular toast. We're Texas Toast. And then we make them sit through a 6-song concert.
Okay. And we do it at every table. So this is like personalized service. Right. I like it.
Yes.
I'm in.
Yeah. People like personalized service and people love singing at their table.
Yes.
Or at least they will. But it's important. We need to have like we could be like one of those sassy restaurants. Oh. We need like a quick comeback. So when they're just like, I'll have the Texas Toast, because you know everybody's going to ask for it. Because literally called Texas Toast. There's toasters everywhere. They're going to ask for Texas Toast. But you got to be like, hey, no, you fucking moron. Big smile.
I don't think this is going to work. I don't think you've nailed the slogan yet.
No. Like you came up with the toasters on the tables, and I think that's great. But then let me come in as the pizzazz guy, and they'll be like, I'll have the Texas Toast. And I'll be like, shut your fucking mouth, you.
We're definitely not going to say that. Now, I've got it for you. Here's what we do. As soon as they ask for Texas Toast, you just give them one of your patented slaps, and we immediately begin playing.
Ooh, I love that. Ooh, slaps, and then I like slam down a loaf of bread.
Yeah. Not Texas toast bread, because that's very expensive.
Again, it's pre-sliced white bread, nothing special.
Right.
Stale.
Well, it's going to be, because I don't know how many people are going to come the first day.
Anyway. I think a lot of people will come the first day. it's that crucial second day where we're going to see a pretty steep drop-off.
That's fair. That's absolutely fair. Now, Garrett, talking about Matchbox 20, yourself or someone like you, I think my biggest problem, it's boring, but there's nothing wrong with this album. I mean, there's plenty of things wrong. We'll get to them. But like,
there's nothing wrong with it to a fault.
Sure, yeah, it's fine. It's competently made. Like, nobody's bad at their instruments. They're not particularly bad at singing. It's this super middle of the road and intentionally inoffensive. Like, this thing could have run for office in rural Pennsylvania if it decided to not be an album.
It's the buttered toast of music. Nobody hates it, but you're not excited.
Right, exactly. Just like Toast, the hooks are all there. It's bouncy. But I think the best way to sum up this album is to quote the Bill Murray, possibly apocryphal favorite insult, specifically for Chevy Chase, medium talent.
Yes, and I think even that's nice.
Yeah, that's fair. But it's one of these things that, look, you're not bad, but you're so far from good. For our purposes, I think this should, I mean, you got your biscuits, you got your various clown posses, sane and insane. This is worse than those things, I think, just because it's so boring. It's so boring.
I agree completely. It's a huge letdown.
I may hate this album.
God, we haven't even started, Tim. Before we get into the first song, the last thing I want to touch on, you may have a little bit more, is the sound of Rob Thomas's voice, because I never gave it any thought whatsoever, because this was on the radio all the fucking time as a young man. Listening to it for a week straight, it's whiny, it's breathy, it's very strained. It's some of these songs, it seems like he's pooping.
Perhaps he is?
Maybe. We'll get there. I plan to explore the theory.
God damn it.
It's an odd singing voice, right?
Yeah, it is. It's the vocal coach makes a lot of sense because this is not how he speaks, certainly. The vocal coach came in and was like, okay, you are not good at singing, but we could maybe disguise that if you do like a thing. If you really change up your voice, maybe people won't notice that you can't really carry it.
And that is exactly what he does to varying degrees of success.
I think it works though, because again, until this week, really until a couple of hours ago, I would say, you're distracted by it, right? Like you're never just like, oh, this guy's not good at singing. You're just like, yeah, he's
right.
got a little bit of a weird voice, you know.
I would say prior to this week, you just don't ever think about it. You just ignore Matchbox 20.
And you're right too.
That brings us to track number 1, Real World.
How do songs referencing Superman keep coming up on this show?
I don't know. Apparently a bunch of them do it. I guess it's a cultural touch point. I knew every word of this song, Tim.
I knew 40% of the words to this song.
This was the first song where I'm going to give you a different sounds like, and you may not have enough experience to really get on board with this, but
that's rude.
We might not have enough. Listen, I cannot cater to your delicate sensibilities every episode. You don't know every band.
Yes. Cater to my insecurities, Garrett.
I do. God, I do.
I will give you that. You spend a lot of your time tiptoeing around me.
Got a lot of hot button issues. Sounds like Bare Naked Ladies to me.
I can get that.
Much like your Matchbox 20 went weirdly deep with Bare Naked Ladies, so I have some deep cut experience. See, it's a compliment that you don't. Yeah, and so it's, to me, Rob Thomas has this angsty, grunty Dave Matthews meets Bare Naked Ladies with a hint of Adam Duritz. I don't know how we haven't made our way to them yet. Anyway, I could also describe this as edgy train.
Yeah, I think that's a really good pull. Yeah.
Let's get into it. Well, I wonder what it's like to be... No, we're not going to do that. Well, I wonder what it's like to be a rainmaker. I wonder what it's like to know that I made the rain. I'd store it in boxes with little yellow tags on every one. He wants to be a big shot, and he wants to store rain in boxes.
I think he wants to be God.
I mean, that is the only real clear interpretation of being able to store and monitor every raindrop.
When he says rainmaker, I feel like big shot, sure. But when he says, I wonder what it's like to know that I made the rain, like that's very specific. I think
maybe he wants to be a witch doctor that summons the rain.
I like that.
I don't know. Let's keep going. I wonder what it's like to be a superhero. I wonder where I'd go if I could fly around downtown. Yeah, from some other planet, I'd get this funky high on a yellow sun.
Boy, I bet my friends will all be stunned.
They're stunned.
First of all, I'm pretty sure DC wouldn't let them use the name Superman.
That sounds right. But your God theory is working out nice.
But here's the thing. He has this like shocking lack of imagination, right? Like, I wonder what it'd be like to be Superman. Like I could I fly fly around downtown. I'd impress my buddies.
It is aiming low.
Yeah, it's lame. Come on, listen. If you're Superman, Garrett, you would crush your enemies and that long enemies list. Like, I personally would fly around the earth to reverse time.
Oh, that one has always struck me as probably not possible.
Oh, no, I think it is, Garrett. And here's what I would do when I reverse time. I would cradle you in my arms.
What?
And take you back with me, Garrett. I'd take you back to cowboy times. Here's the catch.
Would I de-age?
No, because you're with me. The planet. Yeah. I've pulled you out of the time bubble. Here's the catch, though. After I take you to cowboy times, I'm just going to abandon you there.
Well, you're going to come back to the modern era?
Yeah. And I can read about all your exploits, see if you made the best of it or just killed yourself immediately with a 6-shooter, which is, of course, what cowboys call all guns, no matter the number of bullets. But the point is, Garrett, I'm going to trap you in cowboy times.
Well, good luck, friend. I feel as though I will quickly become the white poet warlord of whatever era you stick me in, because I will have all future knowledge.
You know nothing about cowboy times. You'd be lost.
I know nothing about cowboy times, but I would be like a veritable Doc Brown in Back to the Future 3. I would...
Predicting eclipses. Yeah.
More than that, Tim. I'd create great weapons of destruction.
Yeah. Well, okay. I will say, you know your violence. I know that now. Shocking violence. But
I know my business.
Yeah, right. And your business is violence.
Good. Well, your words, not mine.
Yes.
Tim, fun question. DC or Marvel, if you could be any superhero, who are you going to be?
I think that frog guy from the X-Men movies.
What? You're going to be Toad?
Yeah.
I mean, you had to have been shooting for the worst possible answer.
Oh, let me try again.
Yeah. While you're thinking, I will give you my answer. I would be Thanos.
Thanos is what I was going to say.
No, that's mine.
Sorry, go ahead. Tell me about your Thanos.
No, there's nothing to tell you.
That's any supporting
reasons? Simple question.
Or?
What superhero would you be? I'd be Thanos.
He's not a hero, you monster.
It's my hero.
Well, yeah, you do want to.
I don't know, Tim. I saw that movie.
People.
Usually the hero wins, and he won at the end of that film.
That's true. Stop spoiling.
5-year-old movies?
Yes. That's not 5. Good game. No.
Oh.
3, 4, I don't know. It doesn't matter. I think I would go with Batman because that would induce a lot of confusion into your life, right? Because you would constantly be screaming Batman for your dog, and I would constantly be answering. And then he'd be confused because he'd be like, well, okay, Batman's his name, so I don't even know if I have a name anymore.
No, that's not why he would be confused. Because the dog will not have an existential crisis as to whether or not it has an identity any longer.
No, it has an identity, just not a name.
Good point. Straight up, Nope, we're not going to do that. Straight up, what did you hope to learn about here? If I was someone else, would it all fall apart? Strange, where were you when we started this gig? I wish the real world would just stop hassling me. Now, Tim, the chorus makes me think that maybe this guy's doing some DMT, maybe taking some mushrooms. Maybe he's asking his spirit animal what he hoped to learn about here. Maybe this whole thing has just been some sort of crazy trip. He's flying around. That's why he's cruising through downtown, impressing his buddies.
I think it's much more sad than that. I think he just wants to be anybody else.
Well, wouldn't you?
Anybody that's not Rob Thomas.
I mean, he's a millionaire now, but at the time, sure, I could see it.
Even if you're a millionaire, Garrett, Rob Thomas, that's not who you want to be. If you could trade places with Rob Thomas right now, would you? I mean, I guess he is the younger man. That's more.
It's not by at least a decade plus. Come on, man.
Chance at a little more life.
Compliments on the email with that.
Yeah, listen, he looks great for his age. I think that's a good compliment.
I don't need you to compliment him.
You.
No, great for my age.
Yeah.
We're going to have a talk later. Anyway, the song continues. God, we're on track 1. Well, I wonder what it's like to be the head honcho. I wonder what I'd do if they all did just what I say. And then some creep comes in my right ear and just goes, just what I said.
Fucked me.
Yeah. Well, I'd shout out an order. I think we're out of this, man. Get me some.
I got a different version of that.
Okay.
I think we're out of this, man. Get me some, boy. Don't make me change my tone.
I think you're right.
Don't refer to your employees as boy.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Let me tell you right now, this is one of the good ones.
Yeah.
We haven't even gotten to the back 9 where things get really shitty.
Yeah, here's the problem. 50% of the songs, 70% of the songs on this album are filler. All the songs sound alike by the transitive property of mathematics and music. All these songs are filler.
That checks out. Track number 2, Long Day.
sad boy poetry.
Did you hear how this song opens? I like to do the patented Garrett Harvey loud listen, where I turn it up way too loud and listen to the song to notice if there's anything going on in the background. This song opens with cry breathing. Before anyone says a word, you hear...
Yeah.
Little kid, choked up, sloppy cry breathing.
I could see the Dashboard Confessional guy singing this. I could see that Hey There Delilah guy singing this. It starts off, it's sitting by the overcoat, the second shelf, the note she wrote that I can't bring myself to throw away. And also reach, she said, for no one else but you, because you won't turn away when someone else is gone. It's sad boy poetry. That's what we're on.
Yes. Now this, I think there's a lot of really weird details in here, and I'm curious if you have explanations, because I do, but they're odd. So in the bit you just read, she's left him. There's a note that he can't bring himself to throw away. I'm curious what the note says to him. I have a theory, but we're going to wait till we learn a little bit more in the song. It goes on to say, and also reach, she said, for no one else but you, because you won't turn away when someone else is gone. Is the note instructing him specifically who he needs to reach out to?
Yeah, I think so. Perhaps.
That makes me think he has very specific needs.
I think it might just be he has very specific mental illness. And so what's happened here is that she's left. She can't take any more of this. And she writes a note and just like, call this number. You know, you need to talk to the doctor.
Dr. Simon is going to help you out. You need to stop having these urges. Neil, I found the images on your computer. Thought we were over this. I'm out.
What's happening?
Call Dr. Simon. I'm telling you what the note says.
Oh.
Anyway, the song continues. I'm sorry about the attitude I need to give when I'm with you, but no one else can take this shit from me. And I'm so terrified of no one else but me. I'm here all the time. I won't go away. So he's scared of himself, and he's grateful for this woman who's willing to put up with his bullshit.
Yeah, I think there's an undercurrent of severe mental illness here where he has to have somebody there.
Sure. And you're being much kinder than I am, Tim. I think there could be a situation where we've got some urges here. Now, granted, it is traced back to mental illness, but could be a little more nefarious than you're pointing to.
Could be.
I mean, he's terrified of himself.
Sure.
It fears
me.
no other man.
Yeah, it's me, and I can't get myself to go away. Oh God, I shouldn't feel this way now. Reach down your hand in your pocket, pull out some hope for me. It's been a long day, always. That ain't right.
Okay, so lots to go over there. In the middle of everything you just read, there's a nice stretch delivery. What I mean by that is a man singing, well, he has a good stretch. Example. Hey, it's me. And I can't get myself to go away.
Right.
Now, getting to the hand in the pocket business, this is where we get to maybe on the whole album, the most Sandler-y line. Because it's not reach down your hand in your pocket. It's reach down your hand in your pocket.
It is. It's bad.
So let's examine just how bad, Tim, after he Sandler's reach down your hand in your pocket, pull out some hope for me. And no, Lord, your hand won't stop it. Just keep you trembling. It's been a long day always. Ain't that right? Tim, I think that he has gone to this person for help. He is back on the brink. He can't control himself, and even God will not stop his trembling hands from doing what they must.
Yep, he's a strangler, Garrett. We'll find out later. He is.
He's a strangler.
Yeah.
Could he be a mangler?
I mean, after the strangling, you can do whatever you want. Ain't no one there to stop you.
Lifeless corpse. The strangler mangler.
Allegedly.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. Then we get a strangle mangle. Then we get a gnarly guitar solo, and then the bridge, a chorus a couple of times, and we're out, right?
Yeah.
Track number 3, 3 a.m.
Got a little bit of something, God, it's better than nothing.
This is a song technically about a cancer mom. So I was super nervous that this was going to take a wild left turn into Christian music territory. I was concerned we were going to get a Jesus Shoe song. But it seems to be about his mom, who's a crazy person / alcoholic, as we've already detailed, making terrible decisions constantly. And he's kind of like reframing her in a different light, like maybe after she got cancer.
Yeah,
but it's
really
also
not
apocalyptic.
It is. You know, I really don't know, Tim. You did a good job of summarizing it. I was sad because I know this song the best. It's the most recognizable Matchbox 20 song as far as I'm concerned. And it's about his mom being diagnosed with cancer. Luckily, it didn't kill her, so it's not the biggest bummer on this album. We'll get there. But it's still kind of a huge bummer.
Yeah, but it starts out, she said, it's cold outside, and she hands me a raincoat.
Tim, we've got to set the table. I'm sorry. Excuse me. She said cold outside, and she hands me a raincoat. She's always worried about things like that.
Keep going.
She said it's all gonna end and it might as well be my fault.
Keep going.
And she only sleeps when it's raining. And she screams. And her voice is strange. She said, maybe. I'm done.
You're not. We'll get back to it. This seems apocalyptic, though. Or if not apocalyptic, it sounds like his mom might be planning on killing him to save him from some sort of demons or...
Yeah, it's all going to end and it might as well be my fault.
Yeah, if these were lines from something like The Road or Children of Men, like that would be fitting.
God, I forgot about The Road. Great book, less good movie.
Children of Men, great both.
Yeah, good call. Let's see. So I did shout a bunch of stuff there. Let's go back. She only sleeps when it's raining. They're in Florida, as he was raised there. And as anybody who's ever been to Florida knows, promptly at 3 p.m., no matter where you are in the state, it begins pouring rain. Assuming she is going through chemotherapy or potentially a manic episode where she believes the world is ending, she might finally tuck her out mid-afternoon.
Yes. Down in verse 3, well, she believes that life isn't made up of all that you're used to, and the clock on the wall has been stuck at 3 for days and days. Good call with the 3. There's the raining. She thinks that happiness is a mat that sits on her doorway, but outside it stopped raining. This seems just to be about a crazy lady, but it also has this like weird kind of almost Dharma and Greg quality to it with some of the details.
Oh, you think she's a wacky free spirit?
Yeah, like it's parts of this have this description of this like kind of kooky weird lady, you know. She has some magical thinking, it's not going to hurt anybody, and then 6 years later you find out she's hosting New York Rescue Workers Detoxification Project charity events for the Church of Scientology with goddamn Charlie Sheen, and all of a sudden all that free-flowing egoless blew my mind out in a car nonsense has lured good men, proud men, half of the hosts actually of this very podcast in fact, into the Church of Scientology from 2008 to 2015. And while it's definitely a real religion, Jenna Elfman is a monster.
Try to guess which one of us that happened to.
Yeah. Dharma and Greg was a good show, though.
Dharma, get down from there.
Yeah.
Now, I had a much darker read on all this. Knowing that his mother was a hopeless alcoholic and living nightmare, I assumed that when they said she'd get a little bit of something, God, it's better than nothing, I was assuming that was just her drunken stupor that allowed her to get through her daily chemo, weekly, in any event. And her color portrait world, she believes she's got it all. So, you know, if you're drunk all day, you think you've got the world. But then when they say she swears that the moon don't hang quite as high as it used to, then maybe that's that bitter part of the evening when you're about 4 gin and tonics in and you start to go from everything's great to I'm probably going to die penniless and alone sort of a deal.
Oh, sure. Yeah. You get mean.
And now, Tim, I don't know. I did a lot of digging here and a lot of places the lyric reads, well, she believes that life isn't made up of all that you're used to. But then the official lyrics on at least Amazon Music, which who knows, right, says, well, she believes that life is made up of all that you're used to. Where do you come in on the is v isn't?
But
I had isn't half the week, and then I just, out of curiosity, looked down at my phone during the playing of the song, and there they were, is. So I don't know. So yeah, the clock on the wall has been stuck at 3 for days and days. I guess that means that it's always 3 a.m., so she's always worried now.
I assume that means she's always asleep. So I took that as a possibly a reference to death, maybe, because
I thought they said at 3 a.m. because earlier she said, or I screamed it, excuse me, baby, it's 3 a.m. I must be lonely. I assumed that at 3 a.m. is when she felt most scared.
Okay, so it's perpetually 3 a.m. She's always lonely and scared. Yeah.
But then outside it stops raining, meaning that she probably dies.
This is okay. And she says, baby, well, I can't help but be scared of it all sometimes, and the rain's gonna wash away. I believe this. That's a terrifying thing.
Sure. As you slowly lower your children into a 1 foot filled tub. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Clean. We're all perfectly clean now. Yeah. Don't. Hey, you know what? Special WIHTA tip for you new parents out there. Don't drown your children in the tub. Love them. Keep them safe. Never leave them alone.
Yes. A child can drown in even an inch of water.
An inch, really?
I saw a poster that said that once.
Posters rarely lie. Every single one I've ever seen advertising a movie, that movie came out.
I disagree.
Prove me wrong.
2020. Bunch of movies. They said they were going to come out. Didn't come out.
You know what? I was going to say 1 inch of water. That's probably a pretty stupid fucking kid, right? Okay, posters, you're officially liars.
No. I think it's because they're face down and they can't sit up if they're like an infant. Track number 4, Push.
Good news, Tim. I know every word to this song as well.
Yeah, I knew this one. Before this week, what did you think this song was about?
Having a weaker, soft-minded friend that you could bully about and con into doing foolish things.
Right. The Millhouse to your Bart Simpson.
There you go. You got it.
Yeah. This song is apparently written in first person, but from the perspective of somebody Bobby Tommy thought was manipulating and abusing him.
Yes.
The singer is the victim in this.
Yes, the woman is victimizing him.
Yes, he's quoted as saying, I was really writing about me. I was writing about someone who was manipulating me, but then instead of it being a victim song, I switched it around so that it was me manipulating somebody, saying, I want to push you around and I want to take you for granted. I guess if you're going to make the argument that he's not being a little shitty on this song, he is.
Oh, and now I'm completely confused because if he's saying he's the one that wants to push her around.
No. Okay, so he is singing this from her perspective at himself.
Right. Okay. So when he says she in here, he means him. And when he says I, he means her.
Right.
Clear as a bell.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So as far as to how much thought went into this song, he was also quoted as saying, it was just us in a hotel room. We started playing songwriting exercises. Matt opened the book and said, point to a word, and then we'll start building a song around that word. He opened it up and I pointed at the word rusty. That's it.
All right, Tim, quick songwriting exercise. I'm going to name a word and then we're going to build a song together. That word is wheel.
Should have said rusty, and we could have just continued talking about this song.
Go ahead, Tim. Write us a song. Wheel. It's an exercise. There's no wrong answers.
There's only
You're
wrong
in a
answers.
safe space. I'm not going to say anything hurtful. Just give us a song about wheels.
You've got that hand up. It's cocked.
That's for a completely different reason.
I'm so scared. I don't want to do this.
I feel an itch coming on.
I'm so scared.
Just sing us a song about wheels.
Don't sing us a song.
Tim, I'm going to need to hear a song about wheels here pretty quick.
Oh, no. Now I see what you're doing. You're putting me in the headspace of the person who is abused in this song so that I will understand it better. Got it.
There you go.
Got it.
Right.
Yes.
But if you don't sing a song about wheels in the next 8 seconds, I'm going to slap you into next Tuesday.
You know what? This is a good exercise. I really feel compelled to write a song.
Great. All right. Well, I'm going to hit pause on the microphones real quick. We're going to have a talk and then we're going to come back to this. Okay. Continuing on with the song, it begins, she said, I don't know if I've ever been good enough. I'm a little bit rusty, and I think my head is caving in. And I don't know if I've ever been really loved by a hand that's touched me. Well, I feel like something's gonna give, and I'm a little bit angry. No, we're not gonna do that. Song opens up. Now, Tim, we saw, or at least I know I saw some stuff like this in college, both male and female, not ascribing this to either gender, but we definitely saw people who dated in college where one of the people would act completely insane. And then when the other person would be like, hey, what's up, crazy person? They'd be like, you just don't understand. I've been hurt before. And so I do these things. And it's like, no, that's a terrible excuse. I don't know, Tim, maybe you've even dated somebody like this where they act out and then they blame it on the previous relationship for why they act like a psychopath.
No.
Great. Well, certainly I'm sure our listeners will understand. Those of us with more of a buck wild fuck style tend to attract the crazies.
I think there's a George Costanza bit in this song because does somebody refuse to allow someone to break up with a protagonist? It says, this ain't over. No, not here. Not while I still need you around.
Tim, I really wish I had known growing up that a breakup is a mutual decision that one person could veto.
Yeah.
It's such a showstopper. We've seen it a couple of times, specifically on this show, where 2 or 3 different songs are about somebody being like, and then she tried to break up with me. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that.
It's a power move, sure.
I would certainly feel powerful demanding that a relationship not end. Now, Tim, for me personally.
Let me stop you right there. When you demand and insist that a relationship not end, and then you beg that a relationship not end, and then you plead that a relationship not end, it's actually not that powerful a feeling.
Yeah, I could see how that's less of a power position.
Yeah.
Groveling on one's knees.
Right.
Now, for me personally, Tim, I'm sure you're the same way, but the moment somebody wants to break up with me, I'm out. I don't want to be anywhere near somebody who has rejected me in any way whatsoever.
Yeah. I mean, I have a friend who constantly rejects me, slaps me, pushes me around, takes me for granted.
Debatable.
Not debatable.
Probably not. Probably.
You know, touches me in a way that I don't feel is loving.
Jesus Christ. Who is this monster?
I fear a slap, so I'm just not going to say anything more. My point is, this is a real thing, and you try to hang on because maybe you can change them. Maybe they'll be a nice person. You know, maybe someday you won't have to get a lawyer involved to have a Valentine's Day.
You know, maybe you're putting undue pressure on this friend and putting him in a very awkward position after he's repeatedly and emphatically told you no.
Right, but that's a mutual decision. No is a mutual decision. As this song teaches, these are not my words. These are not my beliefs. These are the beliefs of Robbie Tommy.
Oh, that is one of the worst nicknames you've come up with in some time.
How about Robbie Thommy?
That's worse.
Bobby T?
Moving on, the song says, I want to push you around, and I will. I will. I want to push you down, and I will. I will. I want to take you for granted. And then he repeats that and the I will. So she wants to keep him around so that she can push him around?
Yes.
And again, by she, I mean he, and by he, I mean her.
Right. It's a confusing song. Allegedly, this isn't about any sort of actual physical abuse, but it also seems odd that, so he is saying that she is consciously taking him for granted. Like she's intentionally, that's just the thing she's doing.
Yeah. I mean, I've purpose. I think the moment you're conscious of it, I don't think it's granted. It's just taking advantage.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, but essentially this is just a shitty victim song dressed up to seem not like a shitty victim song.
Well, yeah, because everybody heard it and was like, is this about hitting women? And they're like, no. Let us explain. It's really not about anything.
Yes, yeah. Rob Thomas claims that there's a picture of the lady that inspired this song given to security at each show to make sure to keep her away from them. That's not true.
No, that's a ridiculous statement. Let's see. Is there anything else in here, Tim?
Yeah, let's do the don't just stand there, say nice things to me, because I've been cheated and I've been wronged, and you don't know me. Well, I can't change. I won't do anything at all. I think this is what you were talking about.
Starts being a real nightmare, insisting that he compliment her, and maybe like.
Well, I don't know. Listen, just because somebody demands that a single person or hundreds of thousands of people compliment them and write in and send compliments, that doesn't make you a monster.
Well, in real life, it does. Now, on like an entertainment show such as ours, as an example, that wouldn't be weird at all because we are an entertainment show. Naturally, we are entertainers. We are shallow. We are insecure. We need to be propped up by our audience of strangers.
Right, we feed off of you and your adulation. It keeps us young.
Tim, Ixnay, on the Eid Fay, we don't talk about feeding on their essence.
I store it in steam bottles.
Okay. No more Stephen King at bedtime for you.
There's an apologetics cover of this.
Is there? What is it?
It's put you down in my will. I want to put your name down in my will. I want to give you a crown, and I will. I want to save your whole planet. Yeah, I want to save your whole planet. Yeah, and I will is the song.
I want to save your whole planet. God damn.
Pretty good, though.
It's not. As usual, the apologetics cover is ridiculous. I think we've pretty much hit everything we need to in this song. Track number 5, Girl Like That.
You think this life would make me bolder, but I'm running scared.
The opening to this song is like a teen high school sitcom. It literally opens like do 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 do.
Oh,
do 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 do. Like I was literally expecting, we'll be right back to making the grade after this. It's really bad. The Bare Naked Ladies sound is back again, this time with a gravel voice. Aside from the music being absolutely atrocious, let's get into the lyrics. He says, you think I'd settle down because I'm older, but I roll with the change is all. Well, I'm same old trailer trash in new shoes. This guy's not interested in settling down. Presumably Rob Thomas is a Rolling Stone, and specifically not with, as the title suggests, a girl, quote, like that.
But I think that in part, it's a love song to alcohol.
Interesting. Explain.
I think the girl in this song might be Sweet Lady Liquor. I put my hand around your shoulder. You're saying you're scared is all. I think I know too much about you. You think this life would make me colder. I'd give in to this alcohol. I'd put my loving arms around you, child. He is hugging a bottle.
God damn it, Tim. You might be right. Let's back it up, though, and let's build the case. Let's see. He won't settle down. He's still probably hitting the booze. He says she gets sad when there's nothing going on. Yeah, she says it makes her feel damn worthless. Maybe that's the bottle sitting there quietly calling to him, asking, why aren't we having a party?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. That's much better than what I thought. Because when you get to the lines, I put my hands around your shoulder, you say you're scared is all. I wasn't super sure what was going on in that living room. But if that's a bottle of booze, sure, I get it. We're both scared. I'm about to drink half of you, and then I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
What a fun game of Russian roulette.
It always is.
Anyway, boy, you read a lot of this song, Tim. It's incredibly short. The second verse is just a small modification on the first verse. He says, you think this life would make me colder. I'd give in to the alcohol. I'd put my loving arms around you, child. You knew damn well that there was nothing going on. Yeah, is that what makes you feel so damn worthless? See, I had thought that it was just a woman that he was using, getting his rocks off and then tossing to the side.
But it's not. It's a bottle.
Okay.
Well,
I like your complete inflexibility.
She drags you down and pulls you up. She pulls you up. Yeah. She says she's sorry now, but it's not enough to pull you up. Well, she's sorry. I wake up quick just like I want to, but I stay up much too late. You think this life can get a bit unkind, but she stays down till the worth is gone. The point is, this is about alcohol.
Yeah, the end of the song really does devolve into nonsense. Out of nowhere, Rob Thomas is just going, and it pulls you up. It pulls you up. And you're just like, what the fuck am I listening to? Is this transition music for Saved by the Bell?
Yeah, again, kind of sitcom-y.
It's super odd. What else did I want to say about this? Yeah, Tim, I think this is a good read. I'm 100% ready to cross that Rubicon and join your side. I think this is about Sweet Lady Liquor and her hold on him. That or about making a woman so uncomfortable with your sexual advances, but a lack of commitment. Then we get the chorus two more times and an outro that I suspiciously believe is technically the chorus.
Track number 6, Back to Good.
'Cause everyone here hates everyone here for doing.
I really want to be done with using numbers in place of words. It's
super dumb.
It's barely appropriate in text messages.
I would say, boy, is it worse in a text, or is it, a text is at least it serves a purpose. We're getting done faster. Don't have to type as much shit.
The only time it's appropriate, it's super appropriate, is if it's a movie title where the number is the number sequel you are and also fits with the words. So you get a Too Fast, Too Furious. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a gift that keeps on giving.
Well done. Yeah. But this isn't that.
What about the opposite, Tim, where you have TOO in the place of the numerics, such as a Look Who's Talking To?
No. Not in the movie title, no.
Wow.
I always kind of suspect like you meant to write TWO and just didn't know which one to use. It's a there problem.
Right. I see. I mean, maybe, probably not, but maybe. This song, Tim, is really worth taking a moment with because there is a lot about this that I have questions. First of all, why is there an oboe, flute, clarinet, and bassoon in it?
Something different.
Answer me. You snuck it in. Way to go. Easily the longest song on the album, and you feel it every step of the way. It is at a laboriously slow and boring pace. And the lyrics, Tim, I think mean absolutely nothing, but I have ascribed an intricate and delicate tale to them.
As have I, Garrett, and I think you're involved quite heavily in my version.
I would prefer if I weren't. Can we make it a generic third person?
Nope. I think this is a song about one of two things. There's two possibilities. One, it's about a one-night stand that you regret, and that's the one that involves you and a lady. I'm not involved in that at all. In fact, I'm not involved in either of these. It's a lady, it's you in the first scenario, and then in the second possibility, it's a lady, it's you and another dude, right? It's possible that this is about convincing a good buddy to engage in a devil's threesome and then being ashamed of yourself once you sober up and not being able to look that person in the eyes.
Well, Tim, I thought we were going to be wildly divergent in our theories. Let me tell you where we differ. I think that this is a song about a secret society and or key party in which things have gotten stale and one of the members both absconds off with another fellow participant to have a one-on-one relationship, but first suggests an orgy so that everybody can get back on the same page, and they all feel ashamed about it afterwards.
What if he suggests an orgy to distract everyone else while he takes this girl and has a monogamous relationship with her?
Yeah. Or wow. Okay. I think, Tim, we may have just glossed over something very important. You and I live in a bizarre world, but let's all just take a moment to acknowledge the fact that you and I listened to the song Back to Good by Matchbox 20 from 1996 completely separately. We do not share notes unless we explicitly tell you guys we did for a specific reason. And in this case, we didn't. But we both walked away from this song thinking that it is about somebody that convinced other people into group sex and then has serious regrets about it at the end. Tim, is it about that?
I think so.
Okay, let's get into it. It's nothing. It's so normal. You just stand there. I could say so much, but I don't go there because I don't want to. That right there made me think that they were at some sort of weird secret society, maybe a key party. If anybody's unfamiliar, you swap keys. Whoever keys you get, that's who you fuck. But it's become so incredibly boring, so commonplace that they're all just standing about. There's nothing exciting about it anymore.
I mean, they're wearing plague masks.
Did you say plague masks?
Yeah, like the ones with the super long nose. It's like a bird beak.
Oh, yes. Sorry, I thought you were being cute. You mean the actual term plague mask?
Yes.
Wow, you're so cultured today.
Yeah, they're eyes wide shutting it. They're fucking
There
in
it
a
is.
pile with masks on, so no one can identify them later. Just fucking
Anyway,
whatever goes. It doesn't matter. You just whoever you come upon, Garrett.
Literally. I was thinking if you were lonely, maybe we could leave here and no one would know. At least not to the point that we would think so. So maybe this is boring. I'm tired of all this partner swapping. You want to go, I don't know, grab some Chili's, maybe see a movie?
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. So maybe it's so much orgy that they're
over it.
Right. Everybody here knows everyone here is thinking about somebody else. Well, it's best if we all keep this under our heads. I couldn't tell if anyone here was feeling the way I do, but I'm lonely now. It also kind of feels like maybe it's about this girl that doesn't really want to bang him, but has no better option. Maybe everyone's piled up in this orgy and he's the only one left. But
yeah, he's hit on her a bunch of times and she's like, no, dude, I'm not into it. And he's like, well, I know what we're all thinking. Why don't we just have an orgy?
Maybe
this guy Tim over here in the bird mask has a lot of good ideas about coming upon people.
Yes, absolutely. The other possibility is maybe the bowl master, as they call the guy who,
of course,
is in charge of the keys. Perhaps
the keeper of the keys.
Right. Perhaps this Bobby Kelly Tommy guy has slipped him a 20 to make sure that he ends up with this particular lady. There's a lot of underhanded dealings at these things.
Oh, absolutely. If you think it's a coincidence that you ended up banging your neighbor Phil after he's been making inappropriate comments to you for the last 6 weeks, it ain't no mistake. Quick $15, maybe even a 10 spot. He's getting those keys.
Absolutely.
Okay, so they have the orgy, and then the song continues. If you see me out, you don't know me. Try to turn your head. Try to give me some room. To figure out just what I'm going to do. I'm thinking maybe this orgy wasn't all it's cracked up to be. Either he embarrassed himself in front of this lady, or maybe some people got too handsy and he's ashamed of what happened.
Sure. And this is why I think that it's possibly a devil's threesome, because
it's a good call.
It rings a little false to me that he is averting his eyes from this lady. Now, I base this not on personal experience, of course, but on the experience of a good friend. Well, a co-host, if you will.
I will not. I will not.
A co-worker in the studio here.
Good cover.
Who has told me that when he passes a previous conquest, as he calls them, on the street, he demands eye contact. But if you've drunkenly convinced a friend to make love to the same woman with you at the same time that you also make love to this woman, that could result in averting your eyes. You're a sexually experienced guy. That sounds right, I think.
Yes. I think your hypothetical about a guy in this studio is accurate, yes. Conquests. God damn.
Yeah, he really seems ashamed of something, though. Maybe he was kink shamed himself, or probably wouldn't have been the case in 1996 because he wasn't particularly famous, but now certainly he probably has everyone sign a non-disclosure agreement. So the media, just hungry for the sexual exploits of Rob Thomas, won't find out what he gets up to, because later he says, it's best if we all keep this quiet instead.
Absolutely. I mean, maybe, Tim, we merge the two. He has the orgy, but finds himself in a devil's three-way when some dude comes. I mean, you explained it perfectly. It's pandemonium in an orgy. Nobody likes the guy who starts listing the rules at an orgy.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I mean, now, obviously, you and I can't speak from personal experience, but I feel like if I went to an orgy, I would be somewhat relieved if we began with a reading of the rules.
Oh, absolutely. It seems like the perfect place for order, but you're never going to get it.
Well, you're certainly not going to get it mid-orgy. If anything, you're going to have to establish these things. You know what I would do? Create a quick email list, send it out ahead of time, give everyone an opportunity to ask questions. There's just nothing more mood-killing than having to go over a whole bunch of rules and paperwork.
Well, there is one thing, Garrett, and that's somebody who has not read the rules and is just going about everything willy-nilly.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that guy, you got to get him out of there.
Yeah, you need some sort of orgy bouncers.
You definitely. Okay, well, you don't want a voyeur, right? I mean, you don't want like a real Tim peeping you in the middle
get
of an
hired
orgy.
Security. Maybe hire that Eric Prince has some good guys. You get a couple of them in there.
Sure, but I still think they're going to be a couple 1-2 looky-loos. I think what you want to do is you want to have orgy captains. They're orgy participants, but maybe they have like a sash or a reflective vest.
Or like maybe like a belt with a handgun in it. Like a 6-shooter.
Maybe no weapons.
Yeah, it's not a bad rule. Again, a little less experienced than you, so I don't know.
Sure. You might have brought a revolver to an orgy. It's for everyone's safety. Anyway, track number 7. Dang. This should definitely be a train song. It might be the worst song on the album. It begins, "This old world, well, don't it make you want to think, damn. This cold girl, well, don't she make you want to scream, damn. What's the matter, girl? Well, don't you think I'm good enough? This old heart had a whole lot of breaking down. She's got all these reasons in her head." Okay, what the fuck am I talking about, Tim?
You're talking about a guy trying to convince a lady at an orgy that she should pair off with him in
It's one of those classic song continuations.
This is the coda to the previous song, the reprise,
Obviously.
if you will.
I won't. So this guy's game is beginning with, let's just set the scene, Tim. So in this situation, I hope you're okay with this. You'll be playing the young lady whom I'm trying to engage with in this orgy. Okay?
Super okay with this. Go ahead.
Right. Okay. So my opening line, the way I'm going to give you that whop, is to say, "This old world, well, don't it just make you want to say damn?"
Let me stop you right there. I'm in.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I feel as though this was a huge failure as an example. My point is that nobody's getting that whop from a guy walking up to a young lady and saying, "This old world, well, don't it make her want to say damn?"
Yeah, it's not
sexy.
It's a cowboy line, but it's a line you say to one of your buddies around a campfire, or possibly if you pull up at a dusty bar. You got those sidewalks that are made up of the planks.
Right.
And
so if you're on one of those planks, maybe hitching your horse to the post.
Yeah.
Or if you're at a cowboy orgy.
Exactly. Right. Those are the times to say.
Well, I got to say, Tim, if you're in an orgy, no words need to be spoken. You can literally just start J and your D at somebody, and if they're into it, they'll join in.
Jesus, we're going to different orgies.
Yeah, obviously, that's a rule in this house. Are you? Which orgy are you? Are you going to the witch's ball? All right, I'm not. Enjoy that orgy.
How about this? I'll wear a terrifying bird mask. You won't even know it's me.
I will totally know.
Because of the, yeah.
Wow.
All right.
Tim, answer this. Is he hitting on a woman, or is he already dating / trying to convince a woman not to leave him?
It has both.
Okay.
Perhaps she's broken up with him and he can't get her to return the calls, but the one place he knows she's going to be is at their weekly orgy. And so he has shown up there to be like, "Hey, come home, babe."
No wonder that orgy's become stale. Weekly.
Yeah, well, yeah. Oof. I mean, you mix it up.
I don't even like going to the same building for work.
Yeah, but like, what if on like just a random occasion there's like fireworks?
Well, sure, but it's not going to be random.
It
You're going to be inside the same people every week.
No. There's literally literal fireworks. Like there's there's other stuff going on. Like maybe in February, like there's a Super Bowl party happening around you. Like you go to a house in Madison, Wisconsin, and this family, they've been paid well. So they're going to just pretend like you're not there. And there's like a cordoned off area in the middle of their living room. So as they have a Super Bowl party, you guys are all just there.
Having an orgy.
Right. Yeah. For example, this is like one of the different things you could do to keep it like interesting. So even if it's the same people, you can change up the environment.
I do like that. Now, at this orgy, may I watch the game?
Well, sure, if you happen to be facing that direction already, but you don't want to be weird and just watch or look away. You know, if you can maneuver into a position so you can watch the game and do your business, I see nothing wrong with that.
Okay, but I can't take a break, leave the designated area.
There's no breaks.
There's always a break.
Well, okay, sure, but they're very tightly monitored.
Sure.
Gotta rehydrate.
So I can't go sit down on the couch, have
No, you can't leave the
Lay's.
cordoned off area. You're not part of their Super Bowl party, and they're not part of your genital party.
I was going to say, at first it sounded pretty hot, but I'm just worried it's not integrated enough.
Oh, you don't want it to be, Garrett. That's part of it. You want the family to be a little offended.
Well, I want the family to not be involved, obviously. I'm not a goddamn sicko. But I want the freedom to be where I want to be.
We'll talk. It probably depends a lot on the floor plan of the house.
I was thinking, Tim, more of and I got to say, first of all, you have really made a compelling case for having a weekly orgy with the same people. I think that you're right. There are really a lot of exciting ways that you could spice that up every week. You could make that fun. However, here's a fun idea. I was thinking more you throw a Super Bowl party where you can just watch the Super Bowl, but also you can have sex with multiple anonymous strangers freely and openly in the same place.
I mean, sure.
If you were making the invitations to that party, would you call it a Super Bowl party orgy or an orgy Super Bowl party?
Orgy bowl party.
Orgy bowl party. And then you get around the legalities of actually using the phrase Super Bowl, which you will get sued for if they find out. Oh my God. It's ridiculous. You have to say the big game. It's fucking...
That's dumb.
Anyway.
Track number 8, Argue.
Well, she gets, and she never did.
Tim, we've had songs on here that may have been about physical abuse. This song is about physical abuse.
I think so. I think it is also about trying to steal someone's girlfriend.
I like it.
So the first part of this song is about what an asshole the other guy is, right? She don't, but she will. He says anything to keep her by him.
What do you think she won't do, but she will do if... Like, it begins, she don't, but she will.
She doesn't...
She won't. What will she not, but will?
I think it's sort of like she doesn't love him, but she'll stay kind of thing.
Got it.
Maybe. I don't know.
Okay. No, I think that's a good guess.
She don't, but she will. He says anything to keep her by him. She takes what she gets, and she never did flinch. It gets a little dark. So over and over, anyone with any mind would think that's all she gets. That's the old guy. Now,
okay, because I thought that was it either means that it looks like she has no say in the relationship because they never argue, or the much more obvious, she doesn't have any say because he is striking her when she disagrees.
Right. It could be that, certainly. But then the song goes on, if you want, you can get to know me well. We get along, so we shouldn't argue. And I don't know, this might just be about an abusive guy. I was going to say...
It seems that way.
Yeah.
Because it basically seems like people accuse him of that. And he's like, listen, if you want, you can get to know me well. We get along, so we shouldn't argue. And I don't know. All these feelings cloud up my reasoning. Seems like an excuse.
Yeah, I think this song's about punching your lady. Not your lady, his lady. Allegedly.
Right. Sure, his words, not ours.
Right.
But I still believe in ignorance is my best defense. So go on, wreck me. Funny how I carry on and not be taken over. Will not roll over on anyone, because anyone would stand up.
I like that. Side. Yes. So yeah, I think you're right. Right. So ignorance is the best defense. I don't know how that happened. Just yeah.
Must have walked into a door.
Right. Yeah. Won't roll over on anyone. Don't snitch, I guess.
That's what it sounds like.
This is a troubling song.
Right? It's really gross. And then we get to the last part of the song where it's basically just turned into spoken word. He doesn't sing this. He says, it's funny how sometimes it doesn't work out like you want to. No, you never get nothing at all. Then she tells you that it's over. Boy, don't you hate it when it's over? I guess something just got lost, and it deeply saddens me. You hit her. She left because you hit her, I think, maybe.
And that's what Matchbox 20 is singing about.
In track number 8, allegedly.
Allegedly. Track number 9, Cody.
I think I'm lonely now.
Did you read what this is supposed to be about?
Yeah, and it completely ruined it.
I see, maybe the lyrics don't back up what he claims it's about.
No, not at all.
He says, Cody is a real personal song. It deals with my ex-girlfriend's family and the death of an infant. I went to the funeral and I came back and wrote it right there that day. This is about drinking to forget, but if that's what he wrote this song about, he's doing kind of a bad job because no one could possibly get that from this song.
No, not at all. And I was sad that I stumbled onto it because we're going to read the lyrics, folks. And if you can piece together how this is about what Tim just read, we'd like to hear about it. The song begins, Cody sat down on the avenue. He tapped his feet to the humming of the highway. He watched the light shine down on the broken glass and thought, I don't got no reasons yet. Huh?
Yes, so an infant is sitting on the street humming and tapping his feet.
Yeah, the best I could come up with is childlike wonder and innocence. Little kids like cars.
Right, but an infant, that's less than a year old, I believe.
Sure. They can't even make out shapes.
Probably they can, but I take your point. And then it goes on, there's a squeak hinge down on the back gate. It lets us know if he come around, but I don't sleep good anyway. And if you've heard that silence, it's a god-awful sound. I guess a kid or possibly a dog or somebody is like a neighbor is coming into the backyard.
Well, no, that's just it, Tim.
They're not.
Have you ever heard that silence? Nothing's happening. There's a squeak hinge to let them know if he ever comes back, presumably some sort of ghost boy, a la Casper, I guess Cody. But it's that deafening silence of knowing that Cody will never go back through that squeak hinge. That common phrase we all know, squeak hinge.
Right.
Yeah.
So please hand me the bottle. I think I'm lonely now, and please give me direction. I think the hurt set in and I don't feel nothing. That's the chorus, and it's repeated like 70 times.
Yep. And, he's numbed by the evils of the world taking this poor child's life, which, of course, we would never make fun of. But then Timmy goes to wrap things up by creating some beautiful symmetry to that avenue from the first verse. He says, don't much get down to the avenue. I could drive, but it takes so much to get there. Don't get off on all the broken glass, the Cadillac scene. So it's the avenue from the first verse that the little kid the infant was enamored with. What's the avenue?
I assume the kid died in a car wreck.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't want to get too dark here, but yes, now that you've said that, obviously he ran out into the streets and he's saying he does not visit the memorial where this child ran out into the street enough anymore.
Maybe. Let me read
Huge
you
bummer.
a Genius.
Way to go, Tim.
Let me read you a comment on Genius Lyrics by Dunt.
Oh, God.
This song connects so much to an old friend of mine. I helped him through a lot of shit, and I fucking loved the dude. One day he was drunk, and we got into an argument, and he said something terrible to me, and I did something terrible to him, and I haven't seen him again. I just hope he's all right, and I regret so much what I did to him.
Good.
What did he do?
Can you comment back? What did you do?
Yes, but I don't want to know, really.
Do it.
I mean, he killed that man.
He might have. He does not know if he killed him because he never went back to check.
Right.
God, that's the best Genius lyrics you've ever read. Track number 10, Busted.
This song, for whatever reason, sounded exactly like a drive-by trucker song to me.
I thought he sounded like a boat motor.
Yeah, I think we're on the same page.
I called it Baby 9 Inch Nails. I thought it had like this mild industrial sound.
I don't know. It had that kind of like growly guitar sound to it.
That's true. The lyrics are ridiculous. Let's get into it. I forget when words were only words. She knows the party makes me nervous. In this stage, we can't get hurt. Don't try to understand me. It's about cheating, right?
Maybe. It's about getting caught cheating on somebody, or maybe something a little different, because he goes on, we're too cool to be alone, but not too crazy to get busted. I found out one life just ain't enough. I need another soul to feed on. I am the flame. I can't get burnt. I'm wholly understated. I found silence in this place, an on and off again attraction. I need such amazing grace. Heaven, sweep me away. His wife is great, but she can't fill that one hole in his heart. He needs to feed. He needs to kill. He needs to feel the true silence that you can only get, that you can only feel after you do that bad thing, the thing that causes silence in the room, but also, if only for a moment, silences your mind. It truly
He's a soul
is.
sucker.
Yeah, he's a vampire, or possibly just a serial killer. But he got caught by his wife.
I don't think he's a vampire, Tim. I think he's sucking souls.
Okay, a soul vampire. Fair enough.
No, don't you dare say that. Soul sucker, Tim. That's a trademark term of the Why I Hate This Album podcast. We use the word soul sucker on here. We don't use the V word.
That's fair. And I would argue that the rest of this song supports that and kind of maybe describes the act itself. It says,
well, I'm glad you said that, Tim, because maybe that's what's happening here when he says, I strap on one horse and prayed for luck. I dug another hole to bleed. I know exactly how this works. I need a new feel dirty.
Yeah.
Explain all the words there. I strap on one horse and prayed for luck. How do you strap on a horse?
I can't say on the... CBS isn't going to...
I think he calls women horses, bloody holes, and feel dirty.
Jesus Christ. I'm not going to say any of that.
Well,
I will say 100% he calls women feel dirty, and he needs a new feel dirty. This is gross. This is after dark.
God, imagine having very gross sex with Jerry Lewis. Oh, nice lady, you're my new feel dirty.
Jesus Christ.
Gross.
And then it goes on, and the movie Fight Club was not out yet, but he might have read the novel, because it goes on, I dreamed that the world was crumbling down. We sat on my back porch and watched it. I dreamed that the buildings all fell down. We sat on my back porch and watched it.
Maybe he's talking about making this other person a fellow soul sucker that can live throughout time and the fall and rise of civilizations.
Oh.
Makes a lot of sense. I do want to point one thing out, though, Tim. The lines, I don't need you crowding up my space. I just want to get inside you. Inside you. Fucked me. Ew.
Yes.
No,
yes.
don't help.
Yes. Hey, it's not worse.
No, it really isn't. In fact, this might be the one instance, Tim. I stand corrected. That might improve it.
Yeah.
I just want to get inside you. Fucked me. Yeah, it's better. Certainly better than a second inside you. Tim, I have a tough time in real life imagining saying to another person, I want to be inside you. And there are plenty of people I want to be inside. But I don't think I would ever say those words.
Yeah, I think if you say those words, you significantly decrease the possibility that it will happen.
We used to have a friend that wanted to be inside you.
I'm sorry?
Oh, maybe he wanted to be on you.
Yeah, that is it. Tommy, you poor, dumb, weird, sexually confused bastard.
Yeah, I loved it. Hey, Tim, I want to be on you.
Yeah.
No, Tommy.
That was his hello.
Yeah, for years. He was also your screensaver when you would leave the room.
Track number 11, Shame. I'm okay with skipping this song.
Boy, you know what, Tim? We always have the right to pull a full veto on any song. Each of us have one per episode. Would you like to pull the full veto?
Absolutely, can we?
Okay, Tim, it's officially vetoed. You heard it, folks. I have a full page of notes on this song. Fuck it. Vetoed. Track number 12, Hang. Opens with good acoustic guitar, and I'm into it. And then, Tim, things devolve, and how is this not a Kid Rock song? I think I heard a wood block and a triangle.
So this is not the only song with woodblock on it.
It should be. We got another breakup song, as if we haven't had enough already in the last several months, but it opens with a curious list of things that I wouldn't necessarily prioritize in the middle of a move, but let's see. Song begins, she grabs her magazines, she packs her things and goes. She leaves the pictures hanging on the walls, she burns all her notes. What's in those notes? What's in those magazines? Why does she hate pictures? What is this song about?
What he's saying there is she doesn't actually care about the family, so she leaves the family pictures and she takes stuff that shouldn't matter to her and leaves stuff that should matter to her.
Gotcha.
However,
Gotcha.
then you get to the burning of the notes, and it seems like I mean, frankly, that to me felt like somebody leaving in the middle of the night, but maybe it's a spy abandoning a safe house. Like, what do you mean you're burning your notes? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we burn every single note that we pass to one another, but there's a completely logical reason for that.
Yeah, which we don't need to go into now.
Absolutely not, which we do not need to share with the listeners. That's private between Tim and I. We are an open book here on this show, but there are a couple of things that we like to keep for just us.
Right. And the reason we burn notes is one of those.
Yeah, it's one of 4 things we will never tell you.
Right. It seems like Rob Thomas is just kind of hanging around, hoping she'll come back. I guess it's a girlfriend. It might be just his mom, or because it seems to be about a mom abandoning the family and the dad stays. And this is something from maybe
Tim.
the kid's perspective.
I don't know, Tim. Let's keep going. And she knows she's been here for too few years to feel this old. He smokes his cigarette. He stays outside till it's gone. If anybody ever had a heart, well, he wouldn't be alone. He knows he's been here too few years to be gone. This is borderline a Bon Jovi, possibly even a Troy Brooks song. And we always say it would be good to go away someday. Yeah, but if there's nothing there to make things change, if it's the same to you, I'll just hang. So maybe one of them is recommending like a trip to spice things up, get some heat back in the relationship. And he's like, well, what's going to be different about being somewhere else? If it's not going to be any different, I'll just stay here.
Sure.
You go on it. But what he doesn't realize, he's clearly never seen how Stella got her groove back. You let a woman go on a vacation alone, she's going to get that groove back.
Oh, yeah.
You got to be there to give it to her.
Right. That's what vacation's for.
Yeah, getting your groove back.
Yeah.
Tim, remember our trip to Puerto Rico?
Yeah.
You got your groove, and then remember you got mine by accident because I was in the bathroom?
Yeah. Here's the thing. If you're not present, I'll take your groove.
Abso-fucking-lutely. Tim, there's the t-shirt. I'll take your groove. TR.
Yes.
How have I never called you TR?
I don't like it.
That is your Texas toast name.
No.
Tim, we open the restaurant, we get the toasters, we bolt them to the table. I'll be your server, Garrett / by server, of course, I mean performer. And this is my co-host, my co-host, performer, and your waiter, TR. TR, let's hit it.
You know what?
And then we go
I'm
into a
warming to
full
this, I'll admit.
6-song album. Okay, what have we not said about hanging? I think there's more. Turns out there's not.
Yep.
Yeah, guys, listen, it's song 12. We've talked about 11 others. Well, 10 others because Tim put in the veto. That was strong. Who gives a shit, right? It's Matchbox 20. Let's get moving. Tim, how'd this thing do?
Well, okay, so it sold those 3,500 copies when it was named something else.
Right.
And then it got off to a very slow start. This sold 610 copies the first week, but
Weird.
It would eventually make it all the way to number 5 on the Billboard 200, number 50 in the Dutch. The only place that it ever hit number 1 was Australia. It did end up being the 28th best-selling album of the 90s. It was eventually certified diamond in the US with over 12 million copies sold in the US alone. That's duodecouple platinum, so eventually it did very well. More people bought this than Green Day's Dookie or Tom Petty's Greatest Hits. Twice as many people in the US own Matchbox 20's Yourself or Someone Like You as own Stevie Wonder's Songs in the Key of Life.
Good God.
Twice as many.
That's what's wrong with America.
Yep.
What do people think of it?
Well, we can play a very short edition of the Robert Christgau game if you'd like.
Oh, we haven't played it in so long. That's where Tim reads a review from famed rock critic and local crazy person, Robert Christgau. What's even more fun is his reviews very often have little to do with the album or whether or not he liked it. So Tim will read the review and I'll attempt to guess whether or not Mr. Christgau liked it and if there was a grade or a number of stars, what they were. So Tim, let's play.
Robert Christgau, about Yourself or Somebody Like You, said clods have feelings too, and then recommended Real World and Long Day.
2.5 stars.
1 star.
Okay. Haven't played the game in a while. A little rusty.
Fair.
That's what the professionals, or so-called, thought of it. What about the average Joe on the street? Got any Amazon reviews?
Absolutely. There were 1,180 total ratings, 4.7 out of 5 stars on average, 86% 5-star, 2% 1 star. The first review is by Rockstar. It's called Timeless Classic from 2014. Wonderful, thoughtful, Clever. This is like a musical version of Catcher in the Rye, full of struggles and humanity. 5 out of 5 stars.
What you guys can't see is Tim put on a sport coat and got out a fully working pipe to read that review. That was purely visual gag, Tim. I loved it. Find the feed.
Yeah, we've had a couple people find the feed, actually. You know what? I will say this. Somebody found the feed the other day, and they asked me to confirm it in Morse code, which I then did and never heard back from them.
Maybe they don't know Morse code. Ooh, maybe you don't know Morse code.
Deanna Meyer said, love this music. This is also from 2014. I'm from New Orleans, and I grew up on this music. Oh, keep in mind, approximately 28% of the words in this are horribly misspelled, so I had to kind of reconstruct this. I'm from New Orleans, and I grew up on this music. I needed to download a playlist, and it was just a great bonus that I was able to purchase their album, then download for free, then with the Kid Rock CDs. I don't know what that means. My husband and I stayed together because of this music. We've been together for 14 years now and still going strong. Deanna Meyer.
Wow. Oh, Deanna Meyer. Yikes. Any others?
Yes. This is by Blue Palm Trees. It's called Great CD from 2020. Best CD ever made. I can't think of any modern rock music that exists today. Love Matchbox 20 and I always will. My favorite band, Smiley Face Heart, 5 out of 5 stars.
1996 was a weird, shallow point for rock music.
Yeah, there's still some good stuff though. You know, you've got your Odele's coming out that year. There was stuff.
Oh yeah, you got your Odele's. You've got some Radiohead.
Radiohead. There's a little tail end of grunge.
Yeah, but I could give a shit about it.
Yeah, that's fair. But I'm just all right, whatever. Odele. That's all that happened in '96.
I'm really gonna pin your hopes to Odele. Oh, folks, don't buy the deluxe version of Odele. I own it on 4-disc vinyl. It cost me $89. You don't need it. And I love Beck. I mean, it fucking lives behind my couch, for God's sake. On the warm side. Tim, how you doing? You're shaking, bud.
Yeah, it's cold over here.
Looks it. Anyway, any other reviews?
Nah.
Great. Who's this for?
This is for everybody on Earth in 1996 to 1997, and then no one else.
That's 100% accurate. That's the most accurate you've ever answered that question. Then that brings us to final thoughts, Tim. I am pleased that I thought I was having an off week. I thought maybe I was a little busy, had to make a couple of extra errands for my job, and
your violence errands.
Maybe I was a little...
Maybe you were a little extra violent, yeah.
A little extra tired Monday for non-violent reasons. Hadn't dedicated the proper amount of time to the episode, which isn't true. I'm looking at 14 pages of notes. It just so happens they're all boring. This album's so boring. I'm glad that you also had a difficult time, is my point. So let's ask the fucking question. We've been all the way through it. We've really broken it down more than Rob Thomas ever deserved. And I feel a lot better about making fun of him now, knowing that he is a multi-millionaire.
Yeah.
Dodeca platinum.
Oh, yeah. And that's the thing. Listen, this isn't a great album, but it's fine if you like this album. It's fine to have fond memories of it, and it's fine to have fond memories of listening to it in your life. It's even fine to listen to it currently. It's fine to disagree with us about everything we have said this far. It is not fine, however, to think that this music is objectively worthy of selling 12 million copies in the goddamn US alone. Like, you can think this album is good, but like, you have to meet us halfway. It's not 12 million copies good. It's not twice as good as Songs in the Key of Life.
No, sorry. It just isn't. Fucking idiot. No, sorry. That's for the restaurant. Anyway, well said, Tim. It is fine. And I'm going to say something that I never say at the end of one of these. If 3 a.m. comes on, I'll probably listen to it.
No, I won't.
I know. Anyway, so Tim, do you hate this album?
I think you might have got me there. It's just so boring, and this album was a bore this week. I mean, I think we got some good stuff out of this album, but I don't think that they necessarily put any good stuff into this album. A lot more of this was about abuse than I was willing to admit up front. I think I do. Yeah.
What a weird summation of Matchbox 20.
What about you, Gary? Do you hate this?
You know, Tim, I think I'm going to shock you here and go back on what I said at the beginning. No, I'm joking. I hate this. It's just not meant for our show. And if you love it, good for you. We love garbage too, so that's fine.
I will say
don't feel bad.
I think The Third Eye Blind was a much more fun album to listen to for this show.
Yes, and better.
Probably, yeah. It's been a while.
It is. Did we do Blink-182?
Yeah, that was episode
way
8.
better. How do you remember?
I know all the episodes.
Okay, Tim. That brings us to the end of the show where we ask if you can, please rate, review, subscribe wherever you get the show. We're available damn near everywhere except for Pandora Premium. They know why. If you want to reach out to us, and God knows we want to hear from you, you can email us directly at hatepodmail@gmail.com, or you can go to hatepod.com and click on Contact Us in the upper left-hand corner. While you're at hatepod.com, you can get every episode we've ever done in every format. You can download it, remix it, auto-tune the shit out of Tim saying all sorts of weird stuff, and turn it into a sweet dubstep jam. And we want to hear it. You can submit it by going to hatePodMail@gmail.com. You can also just send us your weird artwork, stories, ideas, thoughts, dreams, hopes, reviews, etc. To Instagram at HatePod or Twitter, Album HatePod. You can reach out to me directly, Garrett Harvey, at GHarveyTweets on Twitter. And you can also go to Facebook.com/HatePod, although we do not know how to log into our Facebook account because we lost the password. That is not a joke. So if you really want to get a hold of us, one of the other ways I have listed previous to that is the way to go. But you could also join our Discord server, another thing we don't know how to invite you to, but God knows it's there. And if you can figure out how to find it, you can join as well. And we want you to. If all of that is not enough, then you could still go to our subreddits. And I don't know what's going on out there, but I'm sure something. I don't think we have a Wikipedia yet. Somebody should probably get on that. Tim, what did I leave out?
I would just like to say I think we're wiki-worthy.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, we got a podcast, got a rich tapestry of stories and history.
Yeah.
I want to hear about it. Okay, for Why I Hate This Album, I have been one of your hosts, Garrett Harvey.
I have been your other host, Tim Richardson, and on April 16th, 2015, Garrett Harvey said, "Thorough suicide. He was known for his strong work ethic."
Good Lord, Tim.
Yeah.
Do you know who I was talking about?
No context.
There's cowboys running through my dreams. Nothing's quite the way it seems. Well, I joined the Navy. I got kicked out in a week. My facial features aren't distinct. I try to find some meaning in these songs. The genius is a genius, got it wrong. It's a lobster murder sex thing, the bleaching of her hair, full of salt on both your ears. The riffs are too repetitive, the lyrics make no sense. All the songs are B-sides, the cover art's a mess. There's so much here to tear apart. Listen to it for a week, now the week has passed. It's the Why I Hate This Album podcast with Tim and Garrett.